Oh my gosh, hey. My name is Maybe. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Happy New Year. New hair, who this. That's not what the saying goes. Regardless, it is late at night, early in the morning, within like it's literally 3 a.m. But what had been in my heart, in my head, was talking about responsibility, discipline, and proactiveness. The first title was responsibility, but it kind of just seeps into discipline, proactiveness. I said I was going to do, and this is basically what I'm saying about like more well produced videos, and I genuinely have no time, and it's actually scary because I haven't spent a full. I think just this weekend, because today's Wednesday. I think just this weekend. Today's Wednesday. Huh. Just this weekend, I actually slept like good sleep, like more than 8 hours. Heck, 13 to 16 hours of sleep just this weekend. Previous weekends, previous weeks, previous days, previous hours, awake, doing something. I'm active. Told myself 2026 would be the year I'm outside, but God, I didn't know it'd be this much. I have big events coming up later on this year. Now it's just time for me to pick, and just think of what the future holds for me. And it's the same process of when I'm ready, I'll be able to tell you. But responsibility in this case, like I had like some think pieces. I even wrote it down. I even used my notes app. I wrote it down like pen and paper. So it was like, what does it mean to be busy and have multiple commitments? I think I touched on this like last year. I think by this time last year, I was doing a lot. I was really doing a lot, and I thank God that I'm not doing as much. But I think last year I was resident assistant and RA. Then I was now making my film, which was on Culture Fest, like this dance team, performance thing. And then I was now a participant in that same dance team, being in like what, three or four dances. And then on top of that, there was something else. I was prepping for study abroad and finding out all the logistics for that. Oh my god. I did so much, right? So it was like, what does it mean to be busy? And I even had school, like other subjects. I keep on forgetting. In school, like genuinely, sometimes you didn't hear that from me. But no, genuinely, I think like with academics, it was just like, whoa, all the extensions, and always ask for extensions when do you please. Like, closed mouths don't get fed, but you should also like do something. I think what I normally do is I'll send them something and say, hey, I need more time. Then I'm already cool with the teachers anyway, so they'll give me extensions. Regardless, what does it mean to be busy and have multiple commitments? I think it's a privilege to be busy, honestly, to be able to say, I have this going on for myself. I'm doing this, I'm doing that, but it's also thinking about what actually aligns with you. The whole term booked and busy is such a glorious thing, but human beings, we need rest at the end of the day. Of course, biblical sense, God rested on the seventh day and all that fun stuff. But regardless, is the fact that like God didn't have to rest, but God rested. It was that kind of thing of like, even on top of all these things, we still need time for ourselves and to look within. Reflecting on the past week, how from Sunday to Sunday, as well, it's just this Sunday I slept. So from Sunday to Sunday, out and about, school, work, extra things. Coming back on Sunday, reflecting, you know, church, journaling, Bible study, talking to friends, family, all that. I was just looked into it myself. I was like, wow, huh, that's crazy. This time around, I don't have as much going on, but still, having multiple commitments is like what actually aligns with you. What actually aligns with you, and that's now where responsibility comes in. There are lots of things we don't want to do. I can't name any of these things because of legal reasons and digital footprint. But there are lots of things I don't want to do, but I still have to do it. You know, let me just use like cleaning a room for instance. That one is no low stakes. If I say I don't want to clean my room, that's real. I don't want to clean my room. But when you see how messy it is, when you see all these things, it's just like you have to, for yourself, you know, in case. And that's another thing that like when it's a normal thing, but some people are different. But when someone else comes into your room, you now start throwing everything in the closet, like arranging everything. Oh my gosh, it's so messy, so recently. Then they're like cool with it, yeah. And it's the same thing. It's like me and my friend. I go to her house. I'm like, it's cool. She comes to my, it's cool, right? Um, and that responsibility to yourself to make sure everything is clear for yourself, but you also still want to have like that presentation. You still want to make it seem like you're still tidy, organized to another person who can. What's the word? What's the word? Don't. Is it? It starts with C. Wow, I have to find this word. Don't perceive me. Sorry, that was C. Don't perceive me as someone that's different, regardless, that took a long time for me to find the word. Oh my gosh, I need to read more books. Um, I had, like I said, I had so much going on. And I now thought to myself, what actually is aligned with me? What do I have to do? And what do I, like, I think when we think about responsibilities, like, oh, I have to do this cut, I have to do this task, I have to finish this task. But I think another way to frame it, and this is something I consciously want to do, is say, instead of negative talk, I have to do this and that, it's like, okay, I get to do this at this point, I have the privilege to be able to, go to school, like that, like as much as it's a say right, it's also a privilege, so that kind of thing. So being responsible for yourself and others, you have to take care of yourself to be able to take care of others. There's no way you can pour into a glass and this glass is empty. Um, so same with time, energy. So that's why a lot of relationships don't work out because commitment issues. This person is always busy. This and that, that, that. You know, I just feel like that is true. We also have to understand that you can't give the time you don't have. That's unfortunate. I don't even know what I'm going to do like later on this week because I have two very important things that are clashing at the same time that can't be rescheduled. So I don't know how I'm going to duplicate myself in the same time, but it's just going to happen. Now, the next thing, yeah, responsible for others. You have to look out for others as well. I feel like being your brother's keeper, being able to look out for other people and remind them, that kind of person that wakes you up to go to the gym. You have to be that person. But you also have to be the person that goes to the gym at 5 a.m. to be the person to wake someone else that to go to the gym. You can't say, oh, you wake up at 5 a.m. Oh, go to the gym. Then you not sleep back. I've done my part. No, you have to bring this person, drag them, go to the gym. You know. Um, the next topic. I'm sorry, I just needed to like. The next topic would be opportunity cost, and I had to get the real definition. So, this is what we learned in economics. Is the value of the next best alternative given up when making a decision, representing the benefits of missed representing the benefits missed by choosing one option over the other, basically. So it's like, what would you lose if you choose this? What would you gain if you choose this? That's basically what an opportunity cost is. So, they gave They gave an example. Sorry, I hope my Mac won't die. Mm, They gave an example. Said if you spend time and money going to a movie, you can't spend that time reading a book, making the pleasure of the book the opportunity cost. So you gave up the book, reading the book. Okay, cool. Okay. The cost of college is not just tuition, but also the income you could have earned by working instead. Damn, it's true. So I think of opportunity cost a lot well when I'm ranking my priorities. So these are not in order whatsoever, but put them in order how you'd like. This is why I need editing and visuals and all that. But there's write this down. Write this down. If you don't go to hell, then you find me there. Anyway, write this down. Well being, financial stability. Oh my gosh, hey. Well being, financial stability, health, experience slash career, relationships, school, extracurriculars slash hobbies. So these are different priorities in your life. You can also add, you know, well being and like your relationship with God under like well being and like inward meditation, but then also like under relationships. It's not really like a stark thing, regardless. So your best friend is having a party. Your best friend is having a party on Saturday evening. She's turning 20. Why did finding an age just seem so difficult? She's turning 21. This is so important to her. You guys haven't seen each other in months, heck, years. She's even flying down to your city to host the thing, so you just have to be there. Turns out you have a job interview. I don't know who's having a job interview a Saturday evening, but you have a job interview at the other side of your city. I don't know why you wouldn't do Zoom, but just imagine this. Just imagine these things. So, which one would you pick? You know, again, these are two things. Well, okay, fine. Maybe the job interview is something that can be switched. Maybe a flight. Let's use a flight for instance. You're going to travel to visit your your sick dog. You're going to visit your sick dog, and then you have your friend that's having a birthday. What would you go for? You go for your friend's birthday because it's not all the time they'll turn 21. It's literally in your city, blah 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 blah. But you already spent money on the tickets to go and see your sick dog and all that. So you have to weigh opportunity cost, and these are tough decisions. No one should make that choice for you. I think that's the whole thing about humans. We have the choice, and it's a privilege to have a choice. Whatever you want to do, it's your decision, and that's a lot of things people say, but people always reach out for some kind of guidance and advice. What would you do if you were in my shoes? They always tend to reach out. And reaching out can seem good in theory. But again, just like other things in life and what you're telling people, asking life changing decisions to another person who isn't there, it doesn't really do it because they're not feeling the stakes. They're just looking, oh yeah, pick that one. So regardless, in my own head, you just think to yourself, let me look within, let me trust myself, let me trust God, let me know which one to choose. I feel I had like last year I had internship opportunities in like abroad. I think that was like US, and then I had the offer for Korea and Greece and all that. And I think another place. And in my head, I was like, oh my gosh, internship. Like, I wanted an internship in my third year. I study abroad was not in my head at all, right? I wanted the internship so bad. because I think like third year, like junior year, is like, oh my gosh. Now that I'm in fourth year, is like, I'm glad I took the study abroad routes. I think like, and that was a choice I made myself, and I couldn't, like, I told my family, I was like, hey guys, I have these opportunities. They're so proud of me, as they should. But it was like, but what do I want? What's easier for me? Where do I see myself more? You know? So that's, and that, like, rest is history. I chose the studying and traveling and all that. Fourth year, different case, of course. Like, once the good news is shared, I'll share it with you as well. But regardless, because I even had a choice to choose between study abroad and even study abroad in which country, in which school, internship in which place, which company, which city. I had those choices, thank God. But there's some people, I think, like, not even some people, me, compared to myself in first year, I like, thank God for growth always. Because first year, me would not believe. And that's really important. It's really important for you to always congratulate yourself and really see the accomplishments you've made for yourself, no matter how small. I'm all for treating yourself all the time, but then we also have to list priorities. So regardless of the quantity, quality of choice, and what you're able to pick, blah 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 blah, that's for you. Allowing people to deter your decision is another thing. You have to be resolute in what you want. You have to fight for what you want. You have to say, yes, I'm doing this, no matter what people tell you. Let me also share it. The fact that I was told that I can only do one program, I was like, I'm not doing one. I'm going to do two. If I'm able to, why not? Let me work hard to do the two. And I did the two. And I got the two. If I had listened to what someone else told me, that was their own limiting beliefs, I just feel you should do one. And I'll be like, yeah, you're right. That's how I'll end up doing one. Even though she's iffy right now, that Nicki Minaj thing of like, if you had accepted the pickle juice, this is how you'd be sitting down and drinking that pickle juice. But she sat down and said, no. Like, get this thing out of my face. Rightfully so. Who's giving you pickle juice? Regardless. So, allowing yourself deter based off of another person is the worst thing for you to do. Planning your life around somebody is the worst thing for you to do in your life. At this stage, like young adulthood, late teens, early 20s, people are starting like to date more romantic relationships. And me, I'm going to talk about like straight relationships, like hetero. Do not, like, please live your life. Do not wait for any man, ever. Ever. No matter how much you love this person, do not say, oh, I'm going to wait. I'm going to take a gap year. I'm going to stay here. I'm going to travel to your own city and live with you. I'm going to do all this. Don't do that. And this is important because we want it to be, and again, this is your choice. You see the complications of things. It's not that you shouldn't choose to be with a partner or whatever. What I'm saying is that your life choices, important moments of your life, let's say you're a nurse, your residency, you can't throw away those substantial paramount years for someone who has the probability of cheating on you. Do you know who won't cheat on you? your degree, your certificates, your money. You always have to be on top of these things because relying on another person feels terrible. Relying on another person feels terrible in the absence of your own. Relying on someone you trust is fine. I can rely on my friends to come visit me when I'm sick. I can rely on my family to send me messages. I don't know why. That one was just so dry. I can rely on whoever for whatever reason because I trust them, I love them, right? But when we're talking about finances, oh, I'm going to rely on these people to pay my fees, to do this. You have to become independent at this age. And I'm not going to say like American system, as soon as you turn 18, you should have your life figured out. That is not what I'm saying. I'm saying at some points, especially as you enter university or you're privileged enough to enter university, you are on your own, right? So finances, and we're dealing with such a toxic, scary job market right now. You have to adapt. You can't sit down and say, "Oh my gosh, woe is me," da, da, da. Because woe is you. Like woe actually is you. But sorry, I'm going out of a tangent. That's like financial talks and all that. But in terms of responsibility, you have to be responsible for yourself to get yourself out of the slump that you are. Breaking generational curses, being the person that others aren't, being a good person surrounded by hate. This doesn't include me. I am loved, rightfully so. But all I'm saying is that you have to understand the decisions you take and what you can gain and what you can lose from each decision. I think I made an example of like, oh, a birthday versus a trip. The person is always going to have a birthday. Depends on if you guys are still going to be close, regardless. But the person will always still have a birthday. As long as, even after they die, they'll still have a birthday. But a trip for something important, a meeting, a conference, a school, you can't miss that. It's an opportunity, a bigger opportunity. And I'm not saying you should go and skip your friends' dinners and do all these. And maybe he's not saying any of that. All I'm saying is that you should really weigh your options, and the fact that you have options is a good thing. How should I spend my time? Should I spend it with this person or that person or this person? Choice. Anyway, so reiterating the priorities: well-being, health, financial stability, experience/career, school, relationships, extracurriculars, hobbies, depending on where you scale them and weigh them. But for instance, I would say, like, would you put exercise over your assignments? If you have something due, would you go to the gym, or would you finish the assignment, and vice versa? So would you go to the gym first, then assignments, or assignments then go to the gym? Do you understand? Family and sleep. Would you hang out with your family or would you sleep? Self-care, you're having a spa day, would you do that? Or would you have a film shoot that day, that Saturday? Would you go to the spa or would you go to set? Extracurriculars, dancing. If you're in a dance group, would you do that and sacrifice your food because you have to have a certain diet to be energetic for the dance? Or would you still eat regardless and be sloppy and messy and go and dance anyway? That's a personal call out to me, Sha. Regardless. All that's basically what we're talking about: opportunity cost and listing your priorities. The next thing would be self-talk. And you have a responsibility to yourself, blah blah. We know this. Being hard on yourself, it's not productive. Oh, I should have known better. I hate myself. I'm so stupid. Now, what has that, like, have we solved the issue? Now you're just beating yourself up for something that can be fixed, can't be fixed. Can be fixed, amazing, let's fix it. Can't be fixed, okay. What do we do to, ease, you know? How you talk to yourself is so important. Anyone that knows me personally, I compliment myself so much. I compliment myself so much, and I compliment others when necessary. I don't fake compliments. I can't fake compliments. You're so pretty. You smell nice. I love the jacket. I mean it. I can stop someone on the road and tell them they're pretty. I, I can. Because I'm able to do that to myself. I'll be like, oh my gosh, maybe you look so great. I wouldn't say that out loud, sure. I wouldn't say that out loud. It's always internal. Oh, maybe you look so great. You're so smart. You're so kind. So amazing. Blah, blah, blah. But you also have to not confuse confidence from arrogance. Because you say I'm the prettiest girl in the world. That's not true. But it's like my own things. Like, I'm the prettiest girl in the world, but my friends are also the prettiest girl in the world. But my family members are also the prettiest girls in the world. That kind of thing, you know? And that whole thing of knowing you can do better in any situation. Let's say you fail a test. Oh my god, my life is over. That feeling is so real. But I think maybe it's also because I'm soon graduating, but like, I just want this to be over with. I aim for A's always, but guys, I'm not going to kill myself over grades. I can't. There's so much to my life, especially as a creative, that's beyond grades. That even grading system as a whole, I don't get it. Till now, I don't get it. People will be. I remember like this baby in secondary school. I remember it so vividly, and it's so funny because I'm sure she doesn't remember it at all. But we finished an English test, and we went to have lunch. She was crying. She was like weeping as per snot coming out of her nose, eyes red. We were so concerned. Oh my gosh, what happened? What happened? What happened? I I got an 8. 8? I got an 8 out of 10. That's like grade 8. So that's like just 2. So it's valid. It's like that, like, wow, 8 over 10, you? Can't be possible. Anyway, like the seniors at the time on the table were like, what? Is this what you were crying over? I mean, I got it, sure, but I still felt like that's the whole thing of like managing emotions and like right place, right time kind of thing of like what, like, what tries to eat and look at you solving it over 8 over 10. Like, what are we talking about? Regardless, being hard on yourself in that way of like, oh my gosh, I got an 8 over 10. How could I? Meanwhile, if I could get an 8 over 10 in my assignments, oh my god, I'll be like, but it's also that thing of like knowing you can do better. Like, why is this kind of thing of like, why am I getting 8 over 10 if everyone else is getting 10 over 10? That kind of thing. Me, I can't complain. Me, I got 9 over 10. That's why when she was crying, me, I was just like, oh, so sorry. Anyway, but it's like, why is everyone getting 10 over 10? I'm getting 8. That kind of thing of like comparison and like knowing you can do better. I can understand that. That's what I'm saying. So, you have the responsibility to work hard, but also life happens. It's such a frustrating thing to really grasp, but like, life happens. Sometimes, like, you genuinely, like, there are moments of your life that you genuinely think, wow, is it? This is the worst thing that could have happened to me. So something worse actually happens to you that you're like, oh, okay. Then next one. Sorry, I didn't mean to end it like that, but I mean, like, positive things, saying like good things happening to you, even better things can happen to you. Let's think positively on this channel, please. The next thing would be discipline. Um, discipline is, now this one I'm not even searching it. Discipline is doing things that you don't want to do. Discipline is forcing yourself to do things that you don't want to do for your gain. This is important. For your gain. You can't just say, okay, discipline is just doing things. No. Discipline is doing the hard things so things can get easier for you in the future. Discipline is telling yourself, I'm going to study at least 1 hour every day so I can remember the course material at the end of 2 weeks instead of cramming everything at the end of 4 weeks, like the night before. Anyway, discipline is telling yourself, I'm going to the gym even though it's snowing outside. And even if it's terrible outside, I'm going to make the gym at home. I'm going to do the workouts at home. I'm still working out regardless. Discipline, I wouldn't put that into like relationships, but I feel like honestly, discipline can also be put into that of like let's say you are in a committed marriage with someone. Discipline is literally you consistently, damn, I don't think I can put discipline into relationships. Wait, let me see if I can. Where's my phone? I don't think there's anything that like comes to mind. But I'm sure they'll now bring up a good example. Okay. Let's see, for instance. Okay. Mm, okay, yeah. Okay. I guess. So discipline, they said in this case, is kind of like, it's not, discipline is not like just casual in like your friendship. This one was like friendship, but then it's purposely aimed at helping someone grow. You know, you have to, even though you're terrible. That's the thing about the room analogy. Even though you're terrible, even though your room is messy, you still have to show up as a neat person for your friend that's going to come. So that can be discipline. Amazing. Anyway, um, when you think of things for your gain, just think of things for your gain. That's another thing of like, I have to do this, I have to do that. I have to do this, so it's going to be easier for me to do this. Just think of how it's going to make yourself easier. I'm going to apply early so I can get accepted early. I'm going to do this so I can do this. You know, do it on time, do it well, all that jazz. Next thing is proactiveness. So I put discipline, I put responsibility, discipline, and proactiveness. Oh my gosh, I wanted to. No, professionalism will be a full different video, but I think proactiveness. I think I'll just do a fat side thing for professionalism. Okay, so for proactiveness, you have to balance it. You can't do too much, can't do too little. In a field like mine, film, everyone knows the who's who. Everyone works with who they want to work with. Working with people is either the best thing or the worst thing. It really depends on your own connection with the people. If you're not really a good people's person, you shouldn't be in film because there is no way you can do things on your own. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's also like my own self. Like when I was like such an angsty teen, I wanted to like record the world and like drown out the silence. Right now, honestly, like I'm just happy that I'm able to get help when needed. So you don't want to be overzealous. You don't want to be like, oh my gosh, I need it. It's good to be eager, but it's not good to like. It's even worse to do that and like not like commit to it. It's a different thing from someone who's like, oh my gosh, I'll literally lick the ground that you walk on and they will actually do it. It's different from someone who say all that and not do anything. All these false hopes and, like inconsistencies is terrible. Like, who are you deceiving? Me? Knows yourself. Anyway, versus not caring, like apathy. I do not care. I don't care about anything, anyone. That's how when you have something important, no one is going to care about your own thing because you didn't care for this. You see? And, you know, yeah, experience. Experience. You have to be that person for other people. You have to show up for people if you want them to show up for you. And even if they don't show up for you, you already know that you're going to be able to. It's this kind of thing where like people bless you. Like you get blessed in different ways. So even though the exact same person wouldn't do the same to you, someone else on a bigger scale would do it to you. And I think that's enough of that. I don't want to go more into that. So yeah, I think that's about it. I wanted this video to be like 15 minutes. I don't know how we reached like 20. Okay, we reached 26 minutes. 36 minutes rather. So anyway, we got this. I think that's about it. I think from the think pieces of being able to show up for yourself versus others and being able to work on yourself and trust yourself and not rely on what other people say because again it's your life. Really, like you can do whatever you want as long as it's legal and morally upright. You're expected to work hard but not work too hard in detriment of your health because when people really be falling sick over stress, like I can't believe it. I couldn't believe it until it happened to me. No, last year was no joke. And yeah, I think that's about it. So be blessed. I got everything, well, almost everything out of my chest. The next thing will be professionalism. And boy, do I have a lot to talk about that. Okay, love you. Bye.